I was sipping my morning coffee on the porch of my cabin, soaking in the silence of the valley, when I heard shouting. At first I thought maybe hikers had lost their way. But no, it was Patricia Miller, the head of our HOA, standing on the edge of my property, waving her phone in the air and yelling into it. She was calling the cops, reporting my cabin as illegal construction. What she didn't know, what she couldn't even imagine, was that not only the cabin but the entire valley she was standing in belonged to me. Act 1. The conflict sparks. My name's Jordan Hayes. I'm 45, an architect by trade, and I've spent over a decade building and preserving this land. The valley isn't just dirt and trees to me, it's history, memory, and legacy. My dad taught me how to fish in the stream here. My mom planted the apple trees on the ridge. The cabin I built wasn't some vacation shack. It was the heart of everything I'd worked for. But Patricia, she didn't see it that way. She saw a rule book and a chance to wield it like a weapon. Patricia Miller, our HOA president, lived for nitpicking. She fined people for grass an inch too high, wrote letters about unsightly lawn chairs, and made people take down Christmas lights the day after New Year's. To her, authority wasn't responsibility, it was power. And now apparently she thought her power extended over my valley. I walked down from the porch, calm but firm. "Patricia, what are you doing on my property?" She turned all righteous fury. "This cabin is unauthorized. The HOA never approved this. It violates our aesthetic standards." I blinked, then laughed. Aesthetic standards. "Patricia, this land isn't part of the HOA. It's mine. Check the county records. I've got every deed, every map." She scoffed. "Don't try to lie. The HOA has authority over all new structures in this area." I stared at her, this woman standing on my soil telling me I was trespassing on my own land. I should have been furious. But honestly, in that moment I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Act 2. Escalation and turning point. But Patricia didn't stop. She didn't just call the cops that morning. She went on a campaign. Emails blasted through the neighborhood. Jordan Hayes built an unapproved cabin. Flyers appeared on doorsteps. This illegal structure will lower property values. At the HOA meeting, she stood tall, voice dripping with authority, insisting the cabin had to go. And people listened. Whispers spread. On the community forum, someone called me reckless. Another said I was endangering the neighborhood's reputation. I'd wave at neighbors on my morning run and they'd turn their eyes away. The HOA sent letters, official threatening letters, demanding I dismantle the cabin. They claimed they had the right to enforce bylaws. Never mind the fact that their jurisdiction ended long before my property line. It got to me, I'll admit it. There were nights I sat in that cabin staring at the wood walls I'd cut and nailed with my own hands, wondering if it was worth it. Wondering if maybe I'd made a mistake by pushing back. Maybe I should have kept my head down, followed the HOA's lead, even if they were wrong. One night I said out loud, just to myself, just to hear the words, "Maybe I should sell the land." It crushed me. The idea of walking away from the stream, the trees, the ridge where my parents' initials were carved into an oak. But the weight of Patricia's war was heavier than I'd expected. I felt powerless. But then one morning I spread the maps across the cabin table. Survey maps, title deeds, property tax receipts, every scrap of paper proving ownership. And as I traced the boundary lines, it hit me. Not only was the cabin on my land, but the HOA's jogging trail, my land. The pond where the kids fished, my land. Half the hillside Patricia bragged about beautifying mine. Patricia hadn't just picked the wrong fight, she'd picked a fight with the owner of everything she claimed to protect. And in that moment, the doubt evaporated. I wasn't the intruder, I was the rightful owner. And it was time to prove it. Act 3. The Showdown and Justice. The next HOA meeting was packed. Word had spread. Patricia sat at the head of the table, lips pursed, a stack of papers in front of her. She looked like a general preparing for battle. She launched right in. "Jordan Hayes has constructed an unauthorized cabin. This blatant disregard for our community rules must not stand. I move that we levy daily fines until the structure is removed." Some neighbors nodded, others shifted uncomfortably. I stood slowly, calm, confident. I placed my own stack of papers on the table. "Patricia, you've made a mistake. This isn't an HOA matter. This is a matter of ownership. And ownership isn't determined by bylaws, it's determined by deeds. I spread out the maps, bold lines, county stamps, official seals. This cabin sits entirely within my property. Not only that, but the stream, the pond, the jogging trail, and the hillside you've all used for years are all part of the Hayes Valley. My family's land. My land. Gasps rippled through the room. Heads turned. Murmurs erupted. I locked eyes with Patricia. You called the cops on me, accused me of trespassing. But the truth is, you've been trespassing on me. All of you. Her face went pale. She sputtered. That's impossible. The HOA has jurisdiction. No, I cut in. The HOA's jurisdiction ends at the subdivision line. This valley, it's outside your reach. Always has been. Neighbors leaned forward, studying the maps. Robert Jenkins, who'd fished the pond with his grandkids, whispered, "He's right. That's his land." The police officer standing in the back, "Yes." Patricia had called them again, cleared his throat. "I've reviewed the documents. Everything checks out. Mr. Hayes is the legal owner." The room went silent. Patricia sat frozen, her carefully built authority crumbling in real time. For years she'd ruled with fear and fines. And now she looked small, powerless. I didn't gloat. Didn't need to. The truth spoke loud enough. She finally muttered, voice barely audible. I may have overstepped. Overstepped. She'd declared war on the very land beneath her feet. Neighbors shifted away from her, whispers sharp. She tried to take his valley. She didn't even know who she was dealing with. Patricia gathered her papers with trembling hands, eyes down, and left the meeting without another word. No one followed her. That was the end. No celebration, no champagne, just silence. The silence of power reclaimed. Closing line. Bullies thrive on fear until the truth shows them just how small they really are.